Hey, this is Mike from the Wow Factor store, and we're going to talk about actually descriptions on your website. And I don't know if you've ever been curious or if you've had someone build your website and you're not being seen, and you wonder why you're not being seen by the keywords that you have been, hoping that your website would be found for. So one of the first things you want to do is to check to see if your web designer actually put in descriptions in the meta tag part of your website so that Google and other search engines can find out what your website is about. So I'm actually going to go to Safari, and I'll go to my website, thewowfactorstore.com. And this is an easy way to check your own website to see if the descriptions are correct. If your descriptions are incorrect, then how will Google know what your website's all about? In fact, I've been hired by a lot of jobs that someone will call me and say, I had this web designer build me a website, but nothing's working. I'm not being found, and I just don't know what's wrong with it. Well, the very first thing that I go to is I'll go to the website. So here we are. I'm going to go to the Wow Factor store. And so here's my website, but then I want you to go to View, and then like on this Mac it's View Source, or on a regular PC you just look for it asking you if you want to view the source codes. And so we're going to view the source codes, and so this is the HTML code or the PHP code that particular page has been written in. And we're just going to scroll down here, and at the very beginning we are going to look at the meta name, and what I'm really looking for is, we found out recently through a few publications that Google really does not put a lot of emphasis in the keywords. Now, not to say that I don't want you to put something there, but you see how my keywords is website builder, photographers' websites, animated websites, under $500 websites. Those are the keywords. Now Google has recognized that people are putting anything that they want in there, just hoping that it'll be catched. So the weight of keywords is not that big to Google anymore. At one time it was, but they've caught on that people are just adding whatever they possibly can. But where the weight is still being emphasized on by Google is in the description. And this is actually a paragraph that you need to come up with, and you need to come up with some key elements or keywords in that description. And so if you go to your website and you look at your source code, and maybe your web designer has not put anything in here, like mine, my key description is, and you have to write it in a phrase so people could read it. And I said, finally affordable animated websites. If you're a photographer needing a professional looking and flash animated site, I want to emphasize flash animated sites. The Wow Factor store has everything. As the great part about websites is that you can edit the photos, text, and music yourself. The website has their own CMS systems. I want to emphasize that. Buy websites templates sometimes can be hard to know what you need, and I'm going to keep adding to this, but I really wanted to kind of give you an idea that you need to go to this and view your description. If your description of your website is not correct, then how will Google know who to send to you? So make sure your web designer has actually done that for you, made the correct description. I'm always adding to my descriptions. Sometimes I'm changing them a little bit, tweaking, and then I just kind of follow up and watch to see how my rankings go in Google and in other places as far as those keywords that I'm looking at. This is Mike Flickinger. I hope that helped you with your descriptions of your website needs to be correct.